Hello and welcome to the Amazing Nerdiverse. I'm Jeff Grants.
I'm Steven Tucker.
This is the podcast where we talk about all things lumber. We're talking wood.
Pine.
Yeah. Sycamore.
Cherry.
Yeah.
Redwood.
Yeah, that's one.
Christmas.
Christmas tree is a type of wood, I guess. Did
2x4s.
We say pine?
Yeah, we said pine. Talking 2x4s.
Yeah.
Talking
real man stuff.
What is it? Damn it. Like the flat, the long, flat, like, plywood.
Jesus. Yeah, we're real men talking men stuff.
Like, pallets.
Yeah. Talking about just...
a board with a nail in it.
Yeah, real shit.
That's all we talk about.
Yeah.
Throwing boards with nails in them. Baseball bats. Hockey sticks.
Yeah. Bookshelves. The list goes on. No, this is a podcast where we talk about all things good
flannel
and geeky
shirts
that make up the Amazing Nerdiverse. Talking movies, TV shows, video games, comic books, wood shelves. Okay, so if you haven't already, check out some of our movie reviews we have up on the Amazing Nerdiverse YouTube channel. We have reviews up there for Baby Driver, War of the Planet of the Apes. Our Spider-Man Homecoming spoiler-free review.
Transformers.
Yeah. Actually, you want me to do my Transformers review right now?
Yeah. Alright, moving on.
So we just did our Spider-Man Homecoming spoiler review. That went up this past Friday, so if you would, just go check that out. We missed an episode last week, so we did 2 this week to make up for that. Steven's making a really dumb face at me right now. Yeah, it's that time of night. We're getting loopy. We already did. Jesus. I don't even know how to describe this stuff. It looks like your skull's trying to push its way out of your face. This is an audio podcast, right? You know people can't see the dumbass faces you're making. As much as I wish they could, because that was quite the sight to behold. All right. Let's jump into the news.
Jumping into the news.
Alright. So, Wonder Woman.
Spoiler alert.
Alright. No, I was just saying. Wonder Woman. So, it just cleared $363 million domestically. So, it's made more than Deadpool. It has topped Suicide Squad's worldwide numbers. So, now it still has about $100 million to go before it can reach Batman vs. Superman's worldwide haul, but Batman vs. Superman is the top now. So Wonder Woman is getting close. I don't know if it's going to be able to make that. Yeah. Because it's done really well so far, and the drop-off every week has been, just little by little. Like, it hasn't been dropping really big from week to week. But I'm hoping to see it. It did help the DCEU, with only 4 movies under its belt now, it did help them push past the $3 billion mark. Mm-hmm. So they've already made $3 billion on this DCEU. So
that's good.
Something. I mean, to compare to that, to the MCU just crossed the $12 billion mark. But I mean, they've got how many films? Like
getting close to 22.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about that.
Overall,
22 would be Avengers 4 would be their 22 film mark. The end of that.
So, are you thinking that they're going to have another arc kind of planned? Because isn't, like, Thanos kind of the end of this?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't thought about that, if they're planning on doing, like, a whole other
What's
thing.
after Thanos?
I don't know. Like, I've thought about that, but I haven't thought of, like, are they going to do a whole other, like 3-part thing with, like, all the movies again? Wow.
Baron Zemo again?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, we've always, this whole time, the past 10 years, it's been building up to Infinity War.
Yeah.
Like, once that happens, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself.
Baron Zemo's going to tell everyone, like, hey, I have another secret that's going to tear you all apart.
Yeah.
And then Cap's just going to shoot him just to avoid it.
He's like, what happened? Sorry, guys. Slipped.
Just need to keep his dirty mouth shut.
Sorry, I thought that was the anti-gravity gun. All right, but anyway, I wanted to talk about go back to Wonder Woman real quick. So
You
we
thought
might
that 6-shooter was an anti-gravity gun.
so we're starting to hear a little bit about Wonder Woman 2 now. This was first reported by Screen Rant, and it was confirmed by Humberto Gonzalez of The Wrap and Heroic Hollywood. The sequel to Wonder Woman 2, this is what we're hearing right now, is going to be a period piece set during the Cold War in the 80s, with Diana facing off against the Soviet Union.
The whole Soviet Union?
Yeah, all of them. I mean, like, you know, she was fighting Germans in World War One, like in the first one. Like, you don't want them to do World War Two, so now they're jumping all the way to the 80s, but it's still not present day.
Right.
Like, I'm kind of cool with that idea.
Yeah.
Like, it worked so well the first time. Let's put her in another. I mean, you could, like, I mean, we're gonna just jump ahead 100 years now and just catch up with her in present day. Surely she's done other cool shit in the past. So I mean,
what if she just hasn't?
She's just hanging around,
watching a lot of TV.
It's like she's just working at the art at the museum and just like, you know, she's been here for 100 years.
She's working at an art museum now, but like before, she's like kind of bombing around a grocery store.
Yeah.
You know, just like regular jobs.
Yeah.
Taxi driver.
I watch all those movies. But in this movie, she's going to be fighting the Soviet Union. This is interesting. So Jeff Johns is developing the script with Patty Jenkins, who still hasn't been officially confirmed to come back to direct the second one. Pretty sure she will. But, you know, they haven't signed her on. They didn't sign her on for more than one movie, which is dumb shit decision on DC's part. But anyway, now, so Warner Brothers, but they still have an option for Chris Pine to return. And they're just, this keeps coming up that, yeah, I don't know how it would work.
Either flashbacks
spoiler alert,
or like,
if you haven't seen it, but I mean, if this movie's taking place in the 80s, the other movie was like, what, 1918?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you haven't seen the movie, still, you would know that he'd be pretty fucking old. But no, he's dead.
You could do like Martian Manhunter. He's a shapeshifter. He's just kind of hanging around doing stuff.
I don't know. I mean, this is still before any of the other Justice League members are introduced. This is before Batman, before any of it.
You could throw Martian Manhunter in there.
I mean, I guess, but they're not going to do Martian Manhunter, I don't think.
Martian Manhunter and Wonder Woman teaming up to do some stuff? That'd be awesome.
It would, but they're not going to do that.
Well, I know that, but...
I'm trying to figure out what they are doing.
I'm trying to be positive here.
Yeah, but like I don't know what I mean, the only thing I could think of is
time travel, like a vortex?
Flashbacks or whatever, or what I'm thinking they could do is establish that he's a relative of Steve Trevor's, and then they still waste him in the 80s, and then he still can't be in the present day because he would still be old if he was Chris Pine age in the 80s. In present day, he'd be like, 50s, 60s, something. So it'd still be old.
I don't know.
Maybe they could do like a Captain America thing where she's got this old ex-boyfriend that's super old. I don't know. But yeah, I mean that's what I'm hearing. I mean, I'm hearing that I'm thinking the Soviet Union and set in the 80s is going to be what it is, but
are there any villains that could shapeshift and like make her
think it's him or whatever? I don't know.
I'm sure there is.
Yeah, I mean I don't know enough about Wonder Woman's rogues gallery.
Hey, remember that guy you liked?
Yeah.
Ha. Now what?
I kind of like to see Cheetah.
Shoots him. Huh?
I kind of would like to see Cheetah.
Okay.
I mean, just because that's like the only other like iconic like Wonder Woman villain I can think of. But I kind of don't want them to use her in the 80s either because I don't know. I guess I don't know enough about her. I thought she was just a normal woman at first, and then all these things happened to her and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I don't know.
She gets bit by a radioactive cheetah?
I think so. I think that's what it was.
She falls into a vat of radioactive cheetahs.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, but I don't want them to waste her too soon either. And then, like, when they jump into present day, like, all of her big foes have been long defeated, so she's just got nobody to fight anymore. So another DC sequel, Suicide Squad 2. Mm-hmm. Deadline is reporting that Spanish director, oh boy, I don't know how to say this name.
Give your best shot. The quality of Suicide Squad 2 rests upon whether or not you can pronounce this name.
So the dude that directed The Shallows,
Okay.
Orphan, and like he did like 4 other movies with Liam Neeson, like Unknown, Nonstop, Run All Night, and one other one he's got coming up. He's the front runner to direct Suicide Squad 2. So they've got a director. They're looking to line him up. Definitely going to be seeing at least Will Smith and Margot Robbie come back. Sure, we'll see Croc and Captain Boomerang as well. But yeah, like, I mean, I think they can do it. Like, I'm hoping they learned their lesson from the first one. Like, people, the reaction to that one, it made money. It made more than people thought it was going to make. But I'm hoping they listened to the fan reaction to it, because it wasn't positive. Like, I hope they learn from, you don't need to do the whole like, into, like, crazy trash ring in the sky and all that shit. Do something interesting with these characters. Have them fight someone that's on their level. Stuff like that.
They can't stop Superman.
Well, they're not going to. They're never going to fight Superman. But, like, that's the thing. Like,
I'm so distracted by that dude bringing it up. Was it her or was it some other dude that said, "How do you stop Superman?"
Was the idea that they gave them to, like, put together a team of elite badasses.
It just sticks out in my head. They're like, how do we stop another Superman? Like, let's get a guy that can throw boomerangs, like, really good.
Yeah. I don't get hung up on that stuff as that.
And then just, like, a crazy lady, and then a dude that can shoot good. They're getting close with the guy that's like a crocodile.
Yeah.
They're in the right direction.
In the right direction there. El Diablo is the right direction. Guy that can shoot fire out of his hands. And
okay, so 2.
And Enchantress, people keep forgetting Enchantress was supposed to be part of that plan as well.
Right.
She's a heavy hitter. But she just turned bad.
But Superman can just throw all these people into space.
Yeah.
I do want to see that in a movie.
Superman just throws somebody into space?
Yeah, like he's tired of everyone's bullshit and he just starts throwing him up into the moon or something.
Yeah. Suicide Squad 2.
You know, I don't gotta listen to none of y'all. I
don't gotta listen to none of your shit. He just flicks them and just shoots them up in the pew.
That'd be amazing. And like Bruce is just kind of like standing off to the side, like, whoa.
We shouldn't do that.
Dummy, do you bleed?
All right, speaking of Bruce, the Batman, Matt Reeves has been talking about the Batman. He's been talking a lot. He's been out promoting War for the Planet of the Apes. He's been running his trap. So basically, there's a couple things that come up. First of all, he's confirmed that they are completely starting over. Mm-hmm. There were scripts written by Ben Affleck and Jeff Johns and stuff like that. They were working on this script for so long. They're completely scrapping that, and they're going to start over new with a new script. Okay. Which, at this juncture, I think is the right thing to do, because now they're starting to see what people are responding to in the DCEU and what people aren't. And so I think they're going to start over, start from scratch, and just get a good, solid foundation for these new Batman movies.
I want him to fight Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
Because I think it would be just fun.
Yeah, I'm hoping Deathstroke still stays involved somehow. Mm-hmm. Because I like that character. I mean, shit, dude. Bring Deathstroke into... Deathstroke should be the villain in Suicide Squad 2.
Yeah.
Do that.
They won't.
I know. Justice Joker should have been the villain in the first one.
He should have been the target for the first one, but they said nah.
Yeah, I don't know. Are they still? I don't know where Gotham City Sirens falls into this. Is Joker going to be a part of that? Maybe they should. Maybe they should have Joker be the villain in Suicide Squad 2.
Hey, remember that thing that we should have done the first time? Here it is.
Yeah, people be like, all right, good. He did it right this time. Yeah, I think that would be cool. Joker, and then Joker hires Deathstroke. Because they need to be able to fight more than one guy.
Okay.
I'm down with that.
Go Reddit.
Anyway, so basically he said it's a new story. It's just starting again. I'm excited about it. I think it's gonna be really cool. I think he's writing it with. I'm not 100% certain on this, but I think I heard that he was writing it with Mark Bombeck, who he wrote the last 2 Planet of the Apes movies with. Mm-hmm. So he's saying he has ideas for a trilogy. But right now he's just focusing on the first one first, obviously. Mm-hmm. Smart. He did say he'd like to take some inspiration from Christopher Nolan's movies and stuff, and how like he took the genre seriously and everything, and And he just wants to take a very adult approach to the character.
So no nipples?
No word yet on nipples. Like I'm thinking he's probably leaning towards nipples. But also, and he also said he wanted to be like a noir type like detective thing. Which, yes, please, because this is something that like remember when Batman Begins came out and it was like, oh, we see how he developed his like martial arts skills and stuff. Before The Dark Knight came out, I really wanted them to like do the same thing like that, but lean into like the detective parts of the character. And they didn't really do that. And they've never really leaned into that as much, like the detective part of the character. So definitely make this like a detective story, because he's the world's greatest detective. And I really want to see that explored in a Batman movie. So I think they're already on the right track there.
There's one, I think, I forget which part it was from, of like the Batman or Superman animated series, where like they're teaming up, and then Clark is like at his apartment and he's getting ready for bed, and he kind of looks out the window and he like does his supervision. He's like zooming in far away, and then he's like, it zooms in and it's Batman with like binoculars like looking at him, and he just kind of waves like, I know who you are.
Yeah,
I want him to do that. Like, that's how he should have figured out that he's Superman. And just flips him off.
Yeah. I know where you live, bitch.
I know where you is.
All right. This is interesting.
I know who you am.
All right. The next DC animated movie. You want to know what that's going to be? The next one that's coming out is Batman and Harley Quinn. Is the next one they're doing, which is interesting because they're like, it's back to the old like Batman the Animated Series style. So that I'm curious to see that. But the one that they're doing after that is called Gotham by Gaslight, which is based on a comic book that came out in 1989. It was written by Brian Augustine with art by Mike Mignola, the creator of Hellboy. And it's one of the first like Elseworld stories in the DC universe. It's one of the first things that kind of started that whole trend of those. And I don't know if it was the first, but it's like an early one. But yeah, like they've been the pattern lately for the animated movies is usually they do a Justice League movie, and then they do a Batman movie. They do about 3 a year, and then they do another one that's like a kind of not really in continuity and stuff. Like they did the Gods and Monsters, or they did the what else did they do? Like the the Killing Joke, or like the Dark Knight Returns, stuff like that, where like there'll be like sometimes like adaptations of certain comics and stuff like that, but they don't really fall into continuity with the rest of the DC animated universe. So we did glimpse this world in another outside of comics recently. In The Flash this season.
Yes.
We saw the Gotham by Gaslight. There was an episode.
Yep.
That's where HR is from, is Earth 19.
So that wasn't like Grant Gustin in that Flash outfit.
I don't think so. But we saw the Accelerated Man, who is that world's version of the Flash. So that's interesting that this is coming up now, this Gotham by Gaslight thing. But it's cool. I'm curious to see. It's like a steampunky version of the DC universe. All right. Some X-Men news.
X-Men news.
The Nerdist is saying that they're reporting that Dark Phoenix is going to feature like a cult leader like Magneto.
Okay. And
that Genosha is going to be involved, which is cool because Genosha is an important like place in the X-Men lore and everything. And I'd like to see, like, I'm hoping that all that stuff that they were talking, like, remember we were talking a couple weeks ago about like Savage Lands, like rumors of characters from the Savage Lands. I really hope they don't do the Savage Lands in this one.
Why?
Because there's already too much going on with the Dark Phoenix saga.
Well, it could just be like the setting. It doesn't necessarily need to be.
I think Genosha would work better as the setting for stuff, whereas Savage Lands is such a thing that like they should hold off on that.
You just want to see him fight a giant pterodactyl.
I want to wait. I want to hold off and then fight a giant pterodactyl. Yes.
Yes.
But yeah, do that in the next movie. But just for right now, like just kind of fully embrace the whole like Dark Phoenix saga stuff and. Maybe that can be where Magneto is in Genosha and doing his whole thing there and doing his like cult leader Magneto thing and like start building up the Brotherhood and stuff.
Michael Fassbender and
James McAvoy.
thank you. Like, are they still in this?
Yeah, we went over the cast list a couple weeks ago. We had a week off or whatever.
Trials.
But yeah, like just about everybody's coming back. We listed everybody. Evan Peters wasn't on that list, but he has been. THR has confirmed that Quicksilver is going to be back. So they should totally use that relationship with Magneto. I would like actually Quicksilver to just like not be involved with the X-Men and just kind of be trying to, because isn't that how it's working? He knows that Magneto's his father, but Magneto doesn't know he's his son.
Right.
Yeah. So I want Quicksilver to go off and try to.
That's such a missed opportunity in that movie, though.
They always do that. Like the same thing with Nightcrawler and Mystique. Like they don't embrace these relationships.
But the Nightcrawler and Mystique, though, there wasn't like an opportunity where
they didn't establish it.
Like
correct.
It wouldn't
They've
have
never established that.
Meant something extra. But like where Magneto, like we're talking about Age of Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Magneto's got all that bullshit around him. If Quicksilver had like talked to him like, "Hey, I'm your kid,"
yeah,
he could have like there could have been a good moment there. But instead, they just said, "Nah."
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. So this movie should be all about like
me.
Yeah. No, I would love if Magneto's doing his like
Magnet stuff,
cult leader like acolyte thing, and in Genosha have Quicksilver go to him and trying to establish a relationship with him because he's his father. That would be awesome. So New Mutants, Rosario Dawson's not going to be in it anymore. She's no longer attached to it. But so now Alice Braga, who is in she's on that show right now. I think it's a USA show maybe, or TNT or something like that. It's Queen of the South.
Okay.
She was also in I Am Legend and Elysium. She's going to play the Dr. Cecilia Reyes character now. And looking at the future of the Fox's X-Men universe, they're getting there. You know how we talk about every now and then the studios will get a little ahead of themselves and just start saying, "All right, we got a movie coming out this time. We got a movie coming out." They just announced 6 release dates coming up in the next few years. This is not including the 3 that we know are coming out next year. This is not including New Mutants, Dark Phoenix, or Deadpool 2.
Old Mutants.
So June 7th, 2019, November 22nd, 2019, March 13th, 2020, June 26th, 2020, October 2nd, 2020, and March 5th, 2021. So they've basically plotted out. They've got 6 untitled Fox Marvel movies coming out in the next 3 or 4 years. What would that be? That'll be 4 years from now. That's not including next year. So yeah, 6 movies. They could now possible there could be a sequel to Dark Phoenix in there. There could be, Deadpool 3. Could be a sequel to New Mutants. Could be a sequel to... It could be X-Force. We know that they're planning on doing an X-Force movie eventually down the line with Deadpool and Cable and all them.
All the X-Men stuff just gets confusing for me. Because there's just so many people.
Yeah. But I want to see all these people. They're all cool characters from the comics and stuff, and as long as they're taking their cues from the comics, I'm happy. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm afraid that they're getting ahead of themselves again, like these studios always tend to do, where they're mapping out 5-6 years into the future. And
is one of them going to be Fantastic Four? That's
another thing, because this isn't untitled X-Men movies. This is untitled Fox Marvel movies. So one of these could be.
Who else do they have?
They only own the Fantastic Four and X-Men. And yeah, I do not want them to do another Fantastic Four movie.
You don't want to have them sit around and be bummed out?
I don't want whatever the hell they're gonna do.
And then have just the Thing go fight a couple guys for 10 minutes and then be done?
Yeah. Look, they're what they're talking about doing now is they're talking about doing a more family-friendly version of Fantastic Four.
Were you about to say The Incredibles?
I was about to, yeah, because they're trying to aim for the name The Incredibles has come up in descriptions of what they're hoping to do and everything. And none of this is official. It's all still rumored at this point, but it's gonna be bullshit. Like, they don't know how to do that. Like, just give Fantastic Four back to Marvel. Focus all your attention on... You're doing okay with X-Men. I mean, yeah, Apocalypse wasn't great. It wasn't the worst movie they've done, though.
What's so different between them doing an X-Men movie and doing okay sometimes, and then trying to do Fantastic Four and just... Because if you think about it, it's less people with powers.
Yeah, but they just don't get it. Like, they just don't get, like... That's the thing, man. Like, Fantastic Four are weird characters, and they're not your X-Men. They're not your, like... They're strange characters, man. They're in, like, the whole, like, sci-fi monster realm and stuff, whereas X-Men is just a different direction and stuff with most of their characters and everything. And they just don't get the characters at all. And, like, they're trying different... I mean, obviously, they tried doing the silly, versions they did with those first two movies, and then they tried doing the super serious version, and they just can't get a handle on it. They don't know what to do with it. Now they're going another direction with, like, the family-friendly thing, and they're going to try to introduce they're going to try to introduce more characters when they haven't nailed the first 4 characters. 5 if you include Doctor Doom, which is, like, one of the greatest comic book characters of all time that they can't get right.
They should do the Summer Soldier.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. You had visual representation of that.
Yeah, Summer Soldier.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
What about the Mole Men?
They'd fuck that up.
Just do the Mole Men. It gives them, like, a bunch of dudes to fight. All 4 of them,
I don't know, man.
Because they're focused on, like, just
Wait, is there, like, an army of mole... Like, I know Mole Man.
Yeah, then he's got his army of, like, mole people.
Alright.
So just do that, where it's, like... Because if they're focusing, like, all 4 of them fighting
that just made me think of Morlocks, which is another thing they could do with the X-Men movies.
Just fight a bunch of dudes.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Because they're having trouble, like, teaming them up against Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom doesn't have anyone... like an army or anything.
There's so much great shit that they have the rights to that they're just shitting on, and just every couple years when they absolutely have to keep the rights, they're doing a new movie. What was it? 2015 was when that movie came out?
Fantastic Four?
Fantastic Four, yeah.
I would say so.
So they got until 2020 to make the movie or they lose the rights. So
I hope they just
there's going to be a race for them to do it. So this is what pisses me off, because I wish that they would just... Because that, even if they lose the rights and it goes back to Marvel, Marvel doesn't really have time to develop them.
But I'll bet you, though, if they have contingency plans.
Mm-hmm.
You never heard of that?
What?
The contingency plans that they have?
What?
Like, they have their overall story with, like, all the characters they already have the rights to.
Yeah. And
they had plans for, like, okay, if we don't get Spider-Man, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But then, like, okay, we got Spider-Man, so we can tell that story.
Yeah.
So they have all these kind of, like... So I'll bet you $1 million that they have a thing, all right, if we ever get Fantastic Four, here's where we can put them and what we can do.
Yeah. I mean, it's smart. Because it's, like, I hope no one over at Marvel is sitting around thinking that Fox is going to nail Fantastic Four, because all of us are going to be sadly disappointed. Anyway, we talk about this all the time. It just... depresses me over and over again every fucking time.
Aquaman's coming out soon.
Next year?
Yeah.
Next
Dude,
December.
In our lifetime, we're going to see an Aquaman movie.
Well, I know.
Think about going to sit in the theater for Aquaman. Who is stupid now?
All right. So, you never saw Assassin's Creed.
No. That did not look good.
It wasn't. It was terrible. But maybe someone might be able to get it right, because Dread producer Adi Shankar.
Okay.
He produced this Castlevania series that just came on Netflix. This animated Castlevania thing. And now he just revealed on his Facebook page that he's developing an Assassin's Creed animated anime series. It's going to be an original story set in the world of Assassin's Creed and everything. I think that is something to look forward to.
Okay.
Because Assassin's Creed is awesome. The movie sucked. Like, and the movie had great actors in it, and it still sucked.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know how that happens. Like, it's another instance of people just not knowing what they have on their hands.
Well, isn't the story in the video game like pretty good?
Yeah.
So did they not do that?
No.
Did they do a different story?
Well, yeah. Like, I mean, basically,
like the dude putting on the little helmet and seeing the past or whatever it was.
Well, yeah, they put him down on a table and everything. No, that's not what they did. In the movie, he was attached to this crazy long, like, what is, like, steady cam? You know, like a steady cam camera?
Yeah.
It was like this, like that, but like with a person on it. And it was like this crazy long arm and stuff that was holding him, and he was doing all of the stuff while, like, in the past we saw the stuff. But they went to the past like 3 times in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the interesting shit's happening, and they're spending all their time in the present day.
They didn't go to the past that much?
No.
Why?
Because they don't know what they're doing. Like, I don't know, man. That movie fucking sucked ass. So, hopefully this anime will be pretty cool. Did you see the trailer for The Tick?
Yeah.
Today? Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I really like The Tick, but it's just not... It's
not grabbing you?
No.
You never watched the pilot, did you?
No.
Yeah, I watched the pilot. It's okay. I like Peter Serafinowicz a lot.
I don't think he's the Tick.
Yeah.
I don't dislike him. I just don't think he's the Tick.
No.
You know?
Yeah, I loved Patrick Warburton.
He's the Tick.
Yeah. Like, it sucks that show only lasted like 8 episodes or whatever.
Yeah, that really bummed me out.
Yeah, but that's coming to Amazon August 25th. I just wanted to see if you saw it. Yeah, it's
whatever. It'll get canceled.
Yeah.
I know it will.
It's at least getting a full season.
That costume just doesn't...
Yeah.
It's not quite right.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's a bummer. I was like really excited when they were doing a Tick show, and I thought Peter Serafinowicz would be great as the character, but it's just not liking what I'm seeing.
No.
Anyway, did you see those Black Panther images today?
Yes.
EW released like 20 new images from Black Panther.
It all looks cool.
Yeah, you got some shots of like, Black Panther himself, some of the badass warrior women of Wakanda.
I'm still real disappointed that Michonne can't be Storm. I just think she'd be a really good Storm.
I guess. I don't know. I don't know why. Just like, I don't know. I never thought about that. I know you say it all the time, but I don't know. She can be awesome as other characters.
Yeah, but
I don't know why like her as Storm is the one you're going with.
Because it's good casting.
Yeah, they got a Storm.
Do they?
That girl in the movie, yeah, she was fine.
I don't know about all that.
She was fine. In Apocalypse?
Yeah, she's fine. Just fine.
Yeah.
Not great.
I'm not a huge Storm fan anyway. I know she's your favorite character.
Yeah.
And you dress up as her all the time with you get your bed sheets hanging from your arms. So yeah, you got the women of Wakanda, you got like Forrest Whitaker's character, got some T'Challa versus Killmonger stuff and that like
Killmonger,
arena
I was
thing.
trying to think of what the name was all day.
Oh, yeah, all day?
Yeah, I was trying just not to look it up, I just wanted to try to remember. So is he like, I should be Black Panther, not you? Is that the deal?
I don't know. But here's the thing. I mean, I think Killmonger is like someone that's like close to T'Challa, and then like they just have differing of opinions.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing, though. Also in this whole EW thing, Chadwick Boseman said something that's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
He said, this is a quote from him. He said, "Claw is the real villain.
Okay.
I can say that I identify with Killmonger's character. It's going to be a fun character. He definitely has a point of view. They're polar opposites, or definitely has a different point of view. They're polar opposites. A superhero movie is only as great as its villains. I think they both provide a piece of that." So remember we were talking about, we thought that Ulysses Claw was his main villain. He's going to be the villain in this movie.
But there's going to be a secondary one.
I think they're setting up Killmonger just like they set up Baron Mordo and Doctor Strange. Mm-hmm. Like have these characters, like have this person be an ally and then eventually become an enemy, like sort of thing. So I think that's what
Kinda
they're
like
setting
Doctor
up.
Strange.
Yeah. So yeah, I just thought that was pretty cool. Like I'd be down for that because I like Michael B. Jordan. I'd like to see him come back for another movie.
Swole.
Yeah, the dude's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I just watched. Oh God, don't watch this movie. You're gonna hate it. Fruitvale Station. You know what it is?
No.
You know what it is?
No.
It's a true story. It's Ryan Coogler's first movie.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who was doing Black Panther, and he did Creed. His first movie, also starring Michael B. Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real story of an African American kid that gets shot by the police and everything, and it is.
I don't want to watch that.
Depressing. Yeah, and there's even more stuff in it that you would like, even more so than that. There's another thing that happens in the movie that you would be super depressed by.
Something happened to a dog.
Yeah.
Fuck that movie.
It just gets hit by a car.
I don't want
And it's sad. And it's like I was legitimately crying during watching the scene because you just, spoiler alert if you, but I mean, I don't know if this is a huge spoiler, but it's just, I mean, I didn't know about it. Like, I just finally watched the movie. I don't know why I've been on a weird, like, sad movie kick. Like, It's not that I'm intentionally seeking out sad movies. It's just like, oh, I haven't seen this movie, and I'll watch it, and I'm just like, why did I watch this movie? It's just sad stuff. Just a lot of movies about, a lot of young adult movies about these dying girls and stuff like that.
That's what you're into?
Yeah.
That's what you like?
I don't know.
You like watching young girls die?
I guess it's just the movies
Sick
that I...
fuck.
I'm thinking of me and Earl and the Dying Girl is the example. Like, I kind of should have seen that coming. But yeah, that has the dude from Power Rangers, the Blue Ranger, Billy, R.J. Seiler. He's in that movie, so I wanted to see it.
He should be Miles Morales.
Yeah, we've talked about that. Yeah, you should.
That's who I want.
So I want to. Do it.
I said, okay.
You know, it should be Miles Morales.
Idris Elba.
God.
In the future.
Just
swole, grizzled British Miles Morales.
Don't fucking hate that. Like, we keep saying it, and like, it sounds like a joke, but I don't hate that idea of like Miles Morales from the future coming back in time to help Peter Parker.
Yeah, like the gray in the temples, and he's all like he's seen some shit.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, Fruitvale Station's sad. Great movie, but sad.
Okay.
So here's a rumor about Captain Marvel. This is from Christopher Mark at Omega Underground, saying that Nick Fury is going to co-star in Captain Marvel.
Okay.
Sam Jackson. Well, we haven't really seen much of him lately. He was a big part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe early on, and then we haven't seen much of him. It's kind of weird. It just.
Well, I mean, if the character doesn't fit in the story, then.
Yeah, but like. So they're going to bring him in. I think it's smart. It's a great way, like, it's, introducing this character of Captain Marvel and everything. I'm really looking forward to that. But, both, in like, he's a good, like, way to help introduce her into the rest of the MCU, to the Avengers and all that stuff. And, both characters have, like, a military background, so it's, like, there's ways to, like, relate to them and stuff.
A long time ago, I heard that he had, like, a 9-picture contract deal thing.
Yeah, but I mean, they can always like. I don't pay much attention to those because they can always.
But at a certain point, Samuel L. Jackson's going to be 80.
So he likes doing these movies.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to buy an 80-year-old doing all these action sequences.
He doesn't have to do action sequences. That's the thing about Nick Fury. He can just be like.
I don't know. I like seeing a Nick Fury get in there and.
I don't know. I guess. He doesn't have. I don't know. I don't think of Nick Fury as the action hero guy. No, I think of him more as like the guy that's
hands
in
dirty
charge
a
of
little
stuff. Yeah, sure, but I just always see him as the guy that's like in charge of like running the show kind of thing.
Yeah, with a gun.
He doesn't know. He doesn't have to be as hands on to me.
Yeah, he does.
But yeah, like Samuel L. Jackson and Brie Larson have worked together before. They worked on Kong Skull Island together.
Okay.
So they hopefully you'll have a nice chemistry and everything. So if he is starring, co-starring in the movie, or at least having a supporting role or something like that, I'd be curious to see that. They announced the cast for New Warriors, which you're probably not gonna recognize a lot of these names.
Nope.
But you might recognize some of the people. Squirrel Girl is going to be played by an actress named Milana Vaintrub. She is on a TV show called This Is Us. But she is also the AT&T girl from those commercials.
Okay.
I like that casting.
Okay.
Like, I think she totally fits as a Squirrel Girl.
She's making a lot of money then.
Yeah. She's on those commercials. Those commercials air a lot. She's already got banging.
I gotta get me one of those.
Now she's a freaking Squirrel Girl.
So if she's not going to be the AT&T, well, she probably will. Still.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Mr. Immortal's gonna be played by a guy named Derek Thieler from a show called Baby Daddy.
Mm-hmm.
You watch Baby Daddy?
Yeah.
You do, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
It just sounded like I wrote it down and I was like, I don't know why, but I feel like Steven watches this show.
Oh yeah.
Are you lying to me?
No. ABC Family.
Okay.
Freeform.
All right.
It's called.
I don't know. I had a feeling you watch. This is one of those shows that you and Carla would watch.
Taj Mowry.
Is it?
Test me, bitch. I know what I.
Sorry, I wasn't. I don't know why. What made me think that you would? Maybe you'd come
It's
up
my
before.
favorite show.
All right.
Fuck you.
Night
Taj
Thrasher.
Mowry should be Miles Morales. Nah,
Taj,
not really.
is that the smart guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be. I take that
How
back.
old is that kid at this point?
He's probably our age.
I haven't
It's
seen
one of those
him
things where you don't
since
think
those
about it, but
days.
he's probably our age.
Yeah, I haven't seen him since the smart guy days and stuff.
He's a little bit more swole. Just a little bit.
Night Thrasher, dude named Jeremy Tardy's playing that. He was in War Dogs, and that's the War Dogs. I think that's the movie with Miles Teller and Jonah Hill, isn't it?
Ew, that movie looked gross. That movie looks like the kind of movie like bros like to go see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ew. Did you see that?
I didn't.
You did.
I did not.
Yeah, you did.
I would see
You
it.
were broing out with all your bro
No,
friends.
dude. See,
you and Josh went to see it, and you popped your collars, the both of you, and you were talking about getting drugs and shooting guns, and broing out.
See, I can watch a movie that I don't immediately relate to all the characters and I want to do the things. I can just watch a movie and go, let's see how these shitheads fuck up their life.
You loved it.
I did. It was great. No, I didn't see it. He's also in Bone Tomahawk. This Jeremy Tardy kid. I haven't seen Bone Tomahawk. I rented it and it's about to expire, so I'm probably gonna have to watch it in the next day or two. Really want to see that though. I hear it's great. Kurt Russell. It's a Western. Love it. Speedball is going to be played by a guy named Callum Worthy. He's in some Disney Channel shows and stuff. I can't even remember what the name of it was. Microbe is played by a guy named Matthew Moy, who is from that show Two Broke Girls.
Okay.
You ever watch that?
No.
I never really watch it, but I just kind of know what's going on it because it's like a sitcom, so it's kind of the same thing every time. So I've seen it
Mm-hmm.
at the end of recording something, it'll start over. So
Yeah.
he's the Asian dude that runs the diner that they work at.
Okay.
But he's going to be playing a character named Microbe. And Debris is an actress named Kate Comer who was in small roles in The Office and The Comeback and Veep.
Mm-hmm.
Just a bunch of great comedies and stuff. She's had small bit parts in a couple episodes of those shows. But yeah, so that's your cast for New Warriors. And really, the thing that I was wanting to see is I wanted to see if they got Squirrel Girl right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they did. I think they cast a really good actress to play that character. Curious to see what they do with that show and how it comes together. Inhumans. See the trailer for that?
No.
Pull it up real quick, since you're always playing on your phone. Just watch it. I want to hear your authentic just thoughts on it.
Yeah, let's see. He's your doggy. He's your big doggy.
Okay.
I like the dog.
So you just... That is my thoughts exactly. Saw the trailer? My thought was... Lockjaw's in it!
Did you get cookies?
It looks like shit, doesn't it?
I mean, I wasn't interested in the beginning.
I was, because, in the comics, the Inhumans are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And even in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they haven't done the best stuff with them, but they have done some interesting shit with them, and that looks like a step below that. This is going to be in IMAX theaters. It looks like shit.
Well, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. didn't start off great, right?
No, I think the pilot episode was good, but then
Really? Thought it was boring.
Joss Whedon did the pilot.
Well, he did a boring pilot.
I like the pilot, but I think it took after that. It took a couple steps down in the last couple episodes, and then it took a little while to find its footing. But this show's not going to have that. This show is the first two episodes are going to be on IMAX.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be watching this like a movie. and judging it like a movie, and it's not gonna live up to that. Like, I like some of the actors involved. I like that dude, Maximus, the brother. Like, that actor is great on Game of Thrones, and he was on a show called The Misfits that I loved. He's a great actor, and he's perfect for that character. But I just don't know, man. That show looks boring. Like, this is a world with, like, this is supposed to be pretty much Marvel Studios, like, or the MCU version, like the equivalent of the XMen, essentially, because they have these powers and stuff, and it opens this whole world of Inhumans up, but it's not looking good, man. Lockjaw is the only redeeming thing for that, because Lockjaw is like one of the coolest characters. Such a cool idea, and at least they have that in there. Like watching it, if you knew of the Inhumans from the comics, you'd go, well, they're not going to do Lockjaw, because it looks like they're taking this shit, like, not taking it seriously, but, like, they're trying to do the whole, like, X-Men thing, like, for the early X-Men movies, where make it believable, make it, like, realistic, and make them wear all black leather and shit, and, like...
Well, only one dude's wearing black leather.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, just embrace what is on the fucking page of the comics. Do that.
Yeah.
Everyone who's succeeding right now on film and on TV and stuff, they're doing that. The CW shows are doing that. The MCU is doing that. They're embracing what's on the page and doing that.
Isn't it funny how, like, when we were watching Smallville, like...
That's all we wanted?
Never put him in the suit, never let him fly.
Yeah.
And now it's like, if you don't put him in the suit, and you don't make him fly...
Yeah. No one's going to watch it. or you're Gotham. And somebody must be watching it, because they're doing that.
I don't understand. I'm not going to get into that. They showed me that they could do Batman.
Well, now they're talking about, like, I've been hearing them saying they're going to start getting more into the Batman stuff this season.
Oh, season 4, they're going to get into the Batman stuff, are they?
In the Batman show?
Oh, boy. Guys, what we should do?
We got...
Batman.
I don't know. We used to be so much more patient. Remember when we were watching Smallville for 10 years and just, he'll get that suit one day, and we were okay with it. We went on the journey.
Yeah.
We have no patience for that shit anymore.
They didn't even like...
Because no one else is making us wait.
Yeah.
Everyone else is like, oh, you want... Here's Oliver Queen. He was stranded for 5 years on an island. You'll see the island stuff, but we're getting right to him being Green Arrow. Oh, you know the Flash? He's the Flash now. Look at him. Look at him run.
For episode 1, he's the Flash.
So let's talk about some DC TV shows real quick. All the shows are coming back this season. First of all, Flash season 4 starts filming this week.
Wouldn't that be messed up if they just left it? Like that was
that was the end of the
didn't renew
season finale. Oh, I'd be so fucking pissed. Luckily, they've been renewing these shows early on, because if I had to wait and not know if it was coming back already, I'd be like, if they cancel this fucking show. But anyway, the new episode is going to be called The Flash Reborn, which is kind of seems to nod at, like, the Rebirth storyline. Not the current Rebirth thing that they're doing in DC, the company-wide line.
Yeah.
But this was back in 2009. It was a storyline where, Barry Allen was dead for 20 years in the comics. And then they brought him back. He died in Crisis on Infinite Earths. They brought him back in a story called The Flash Rebirth. It was also a Green Lantern Rebirth when they brought Hal Jordan back. So maybe this is a nod to that. Also, according to TV Line's Inside Line with Matt Midovich, the show they're casting a new villain that they're saying should put the visual effects department to the test. So after Grodd and King Shark and Savitar, I'm wondering who could this be? Like, who is this new villain that is going to be super CG heavy villain?
Reverse Flash.
And I'm thinking more than just like a guy. I mean, they're not doing it. They're supposedly not doing another speedster this year.
Batman.
I don't know. Maybe it's the villain. Who was the Thinker? I don't know anything about that guy. That's what he's called, I think.
You think?
I Thinker. But anyway, so yeah, they're bringing new CGI character. I don't know. I'm curious to see who it could be.
Solomon Grundy.
I want them to bring back Solomon Grundy. Oh, he was kind of introduced in the Arrow episode that introduced Barry Allen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if Solomon Grundy came back, maybe he could be on The Flash. I don't know. I kind of feel like, well,
He's like a Justice League villain, though.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I think he was more of a, like... I think he started out possibly a Superman villain.
Uh-huh.
I think he's more a Superman, Batman villain, like, in that range. But I kind of, for some reason, see him fitting more into Arrow because Arrow's darker.
Mm-hmm.
But Flash does have the metahuman angle covered a little more. So maybe that's a good call. I would like to see Solomon Grundy come back because, you know, that was something that they laid the groundwork for and never really went back to. And it's perfect now. They pick it up now, and he survived after all those years of just being, what was he? He was buried alive, wasn't he, or something like that? And he just comes back, like, perfect. Like, if they don't eventually do that, it's going to be ridiculous. It's just going to be one of those things that's going to bug me for the rest of my life. And why do they never revisit that?
You do Doomsday.
Yeah.
Just Flash versus Doomsday.
Yeah.
Beat the fuck out of him.
I mean, I can't think of any more Flash villains that they haven't done. They finally got into Mirror Master and those other characters this season.
Captain Boomerang. They
Done.
CGI like 1 billion boomerangs.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I can't really think of any anymore. So
Ghost Man.
Legends of Tomorrow season 3 is coming. Katie Lotz was talking to DC All Access about this season. She was saying, I think this time we're not going to see history as we remembered it, but before they would travel back in time and history was kind of what it was in the textbooks.
Mm-hmm.
Now they've broken time. And so they're going to travel, they can travel anywhere and it can just be ridiculous and crazy. So they don't have to, this season, they don't have to stick to what, happened in history. They can do all kinds of crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So are you caught up on Legends of Tomorrow?
No.
Oh. Well.
At some point I'm going to sit down and just watch it all.
They broke time, basically. And
Got it.
now they can really have fun with that show and do weird shit. All right. And one last thing, Arrow season 6, Stephen Amell was talking recently. He was talking about how his son, William... Are you caught up on Arrow?
Almost.
Oh. Well, fuck. Anyway, his son, William's going to be a bigger part of next season.
Okay.
So that should be interesting to see how Oliver takes on being more of a hands-on father figure.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Deathstroke is confirmed to return. Stephen Amell revealed that he's coming back at least. And... the guy that's played Deadshot has been talking lately. I was writing a couple articles about him this week about how he's saying he wants to come back to the show and he doesn't think Deadshot's dead, which I really want them to bring him back to the show. That one time that he popped up and Diggle was imagining him, that pissed me the hell off.
Mm-hmm.
But and he also said he wants to team up with Deathstroke. Deadshot and Deathstroke would be awesome in an episode if he said either they fight or team up. Either way, he'd want to do that, and I'm gonna be down for that. And one last thing, this is also according to TV Line's Matt Midovich. He said that the next yet-to-be-cast Big Bad has been on, for Season 6 of Arrow, has been on many a fan's wish list.
Batman?
It's a character that a lot of people have have been wanting to see for a Big Bad on Arrow, or in Arrow. So, the only character I can think of that people have been really wanting to see on Arrow that we haven't seen yet is Onomatopoeia.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good one.
If he's the Big Bad of Season 6, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
I would really like that. And Kevin Smith has said he'd love to write an episode of the show where he's directed multiple episodes of Supergirl and Flash. I'd love for them to have him on the episode where they introduce him.
That makes sense.
That'd be awesome. So yeah, I'm really hoping we see Onomatopoeia. I know the gimmick, the whole shtick with the sound effects and stuff like that. They don't have to do it just like that.
Yeah, they do.
Not like him just
saying.
saying.
Then his name doesn't make
blam.
sense.
No. I'm saying they can find a way around it where it's not just him saying the sounds that he hears. They do something different. Like I always imagine like someone like Oliver, like they're on a desk. There's a card, and he flips it over, and it just says blam, and then there's like an explosion or something like that. Like play around with that a little more instead of just him saying blam or pow or...
I just want him to say it.
All right. Anyway. All right, if you like this episode, please do us a favor and subscribe to The Amazing Nerdiverse on iTunes, or use your favorite podcatcher app to subscribe to the podcast. And most importantly, leave us a review. This will help us out and help people find this show. If you're watching on YouTube, like this video and subscribe to our channel and leave a comment below. Share the show with your friends online. Follow us on Facebook.com/TheAmazingNerdiverse, on Instagram @AmazingNerdiverse, and we're on Twitter. I'm at Jeff_Grants.
I'm at Steven Tukert.
And we are at Nerdiverse Pod. And go to TheAmazingNerdiverse.com for all that and very little more. And until next time, I'm Jeff Grants.
I'm Steven Tukert.
Catch you right here next time in The Amazing Nerdiverse.
Hit 'em. And scene.